Earlier this year, I attended my first ever Twitchcon, Twitchcon San Diego 2025. This was truly an amazing experience. I've never created a video of this nature before, so I hope I can do the trip justice with just how incredible it all was. Please note that the camera quality at times is awful. Everything was filmed on my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and it shows. Hopefully that doesn't deter you from continuing, so let's get into it. It is currently the day before I leave for San Diego, and I'm still trying to think of shows to download for my flight. Currently, I have some specific Pokemon XYZ episodes downloaded, and that's it. Usually what I do before flights is pick a streaming service and just scroll until I find something that looks interesting. Now for the real reason you clicked on this video, to get the fans' perspective of what it's like to visit TwitchCon San Diego. My mom has graciously given me this opportunity to go to San Diego for this event and to meet the creators that I look up to. There are a couple of reasons as to why I'm nervous about all this. To start, this is the first time my face has been in a video. Secondly, I've never done something like this before. I've been to conventions in the past, but never one of this magnitude. The next clip you'll probably see is from very early in the morning tomorrow, since I've still got 3 classes to attend before leaving for the airport. I am a college student after all. It is currently like 5:30 a.m., but I'm awake. I'd say I got a decent amount of sleep, albeit it took me a while to actually fall asleep. Since I have an 8 a.m. college class, I leave around 7:10 for that, since I want to ensure I get a parking spot. Since the parking options for my campus are kind of atrocious, and the spots they do have get taken up really fast. After my classes, I am stopping back at home since my dad is driving my mom and I to the airport, so I will get another chance to say goodbye to my dog, but for right now... Oh, yeah. Okay, I did not foresee myself getting to campus as early as I did, so I can just chill for like 25 minutes now. And I did get a good parking spot, in case you were wondering. The reason I left so early in the first place was because I thought there was going to be construction on the route, but nope. All the construction that was there before is done now. Okay, so I just stopped back in my car for a quick second. I have 1 class left before I can go home and then leave for the airport from my house. And yeah, the next clip you'll probably see is driving to the airport. I was thinking about like filming myself walking to class, but I don't really want to give out what campus I'm on. And also, I didn't want to be like an obnoxious influencer person who holds the phone up like this and is like, come with me to my classes for the day. So I just like didn't want to do that. Just got done with my last class and had a call with my mom. One of her friends actually flew out of the same airport that we're going to, and my mom had her friend text her like how long the lines at TSA security, all that were, and her friend said everything was fine. Alright, we just arrived at the hotel. It is about 8:30 p.m. local time, Pacific time. My mom just went out to go get some snacks and some water, and then we are basically going to bed. But first, let me give you a quick tour of the room. Back to front, we got the bed that I'm staying on, We've got the view past the blinds. Nothing really much to see right there, but I'm sure it'll look better at daytime. Nice desk, TV, other bed, little nightstand. And if we continue back towards the door, we've got the mirror. Hello. Then, the bathroom. On our day 2, we went to SeaWorld. We got there right at rope drop so we could have as much time as possible before the other activities. The only ride we went on was Arctic Rescue, but it was good enough for us to ride it twice. We then went to watch the sea lion show, which was definitely geared towards kids, but I still had an enjoyable time. As the show plays out, I'll throw some photos on screen.
We're gonna have no problem with that. So buddy, we need to be super athletic, so first we gotta stretch out. So stretch out this side. Okay, very nice, this side too. Okay, now, just like Seymour did, we're gonna do some really high jumps out of the water. So, when I count to 3, you're gonna jump. Ready, 1, 2, 3, and bless you. Jump.
After that was over, we headed to the beluga whale area. We got into the water with the belugas. This is something we actually did over a decade ago, but it was cool to experience it again. Unfortunately, I couldn't film any of this. When we were done with the belugas, we headed across the park to watch the orca show. Once again, sorry about the quality of the videos. It doesn't help that I filmed on a relatively old phone, and plus I think Google Drive compressed the videos when I uploaded them. I don't know if this was the correct process to do things, but I uploaded everything to Drive, downloaded everything, and then imported it all into DaVinci Resolve. I'd also like to apologize about all the vertical clips. I don't usually record horizontal, so unfortunately you're going to get a lot of black bars. After we viewed the orca show, we went over to the interactive dolphin experience. We learned a bit about the sea creature, did some hand signals with the trainer we were with, and we got to swim with the dolphins at the end. We walked over 4.5 miles, which is crazy since, unfortunately, I normally do not walk that much in a single day when I'm at home. But yeah, tomorrow is the big day, and with the MCC account putting out that they're doing their own meet and greets at the Minecraft booth, the schedule I have just got a lot more crowded and things are starting to overlap, which is not good because you want to save time for everything to make sure you get in line early enough to meet who you want to meet or watch the panels that you want to watch. So that's also made me a bit more stressed. Also, I know the Twitchcon app has maps of the convention center, but I'm still worried about making it from one place to another, especially on Sunday when the events I want to attend are all back to back to back. I want to watch the MCC Twitch Rivals, and then the Cowboy SMP panel, and then No Dice. I'm just hoping I can make it there since all those things are basically first come, first serve. Also, sorry I haven't been looking into the camera this whole time. If I don't decide to overlay my Minecraft face over my actual face, I've literally just been like staring at the center of my phone. Keep in mind, I've never done something like this before. My personal goal is to get as many streamers who I know as possible to sign my Scarland art book, even if they've never heard of the Scarland art book before. It's just like kind of a thing that has some empty pages at the beginning that I'm going to be using to get those signatures. So yeah, the plan for tomorrow, get the wristband and badge, then go to the meet and greet with Beck, Eloise, and Owen, and then to the hermitcraft SMP panel. And I do have some time in between to like roam the halls, go to Artist Alley, check out the Minecraft booth in general, stuff like that, which I am happy about. But things are going to be stressful for me. Also, keep in mind that there's probably going to be more voice overlays as opposed to actual voice live recordings like this, because I just can't do the whole like YouTuber thing of holding my phone up. Like I said this before in one of the first clips of this video, I just like can't speak into the camera like this. I find it way more comfortable for myself to be able to just do the voice overlays in post with Audacity. I'm getting ready for the convention now. I have been up since like 5:15 a.m. though, just like anxiously awaiting leave. Also, don't mind my hair, I'll fix that in a bit. And I'm also going to be wearing a hat, so it doesn't matter that much. But I'll show you what I'm bringing into the convention center, as long as they allow me to bring in this backpack, because I specifically ordered this from Amazon with the specific size requirements, 12 by 12 by 6. We've got the Life Series hat. I love this thing so much. Even though it's like a bit smaller of a hat than I normally wear, it still fits pretty nice. And then inside the backpack, just in this front pocket, I have this 5 a.m. Pearl common card, which I'm hoping to get signed by Pearl and have enough time to tell her a funny story about this. But if you want to know, I've already made a video about this topic, but as a quick recap, I'm the one that suggested the move name Unhinged, which you can see right there on the card. That was my idea. That's like one of the reasons why I want to get this signed by her. And then in the bigger pocket, we have the Scarland art book, as I struggle to take it out with one hand. I am hoping to get this signed by a bunch of streamers, as I said in one of the clips from last night, just this page, this page. But yeah, fit check. Got these shoes that I wear literally everywhere. I've had these for a couple years now, and they are falling apart a little bit, but I love them. Then we've got these like fall or autumn themed Snoopy socks. Then if I can get away from the bright sunlight, you can see, even though it's mirrored, I've got the hermitcraft shirt on. And then my pants are just black sweatpants. I don't get real fancy with sweatpants. And if you know one thing about me, it's that I don't like wearing jeans. Jeans are so uncomfortable for me. And then in my fanny pack, I've got this portable charger. I'm hoping this USB cable works, because I'm pretty sure I tried this on the first night we got there. And since it's not a super good cable, it took my phone hours to be able to charge to full. But I'm just hoping that it decides to work out for this. Then I've also got this tiny bag, which has the microphone equipment in it. I can put the adapter and the little clip-on mic into this, plus the cable. So if I do desperately need to charge the microphone while I'm at the convention, I can. And then, of course, we've got the hand sanitizer. Never leave house without it. I order like packs of 10 of these bottles on Amazon just so I always have some wherever I'm at. And then we've got these 2 Sharpies, one black, one like teal or turquoise color. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And this is also like the first time I'm using the clip-on portion of this microphone, since I usually just hold it, but I needed 2 free hands.
Hi, Taylor. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Sorry, I'm stuck on. Hey, you gotta turn around though and smile real quick. Thank you.
I don't want to walk into somebody.
I talk about this more later in the video, but the first part of my TwitchCon day 1 was the Beck, Owen, and Eloise meet and greet. I was actually close to the front of the line, so I didn't have to wait too long for my turn. I had my mom record, and I had an interesting proposition for the 3 people. It has to do with the tiny microphone you've seen me holding in some clips thus far. I came up with this idea on the fly, but as you'll see, I had a rapid-fire questions segment. I didn't do this for every meet and greet I attended. I actually only did it for this one and the JoJo and Amesy one you'll see later, but I came up with some questions to ask to extend the duration of the meet and greet without only asking them to sign something and take a photo. I figured if I had something planned beforehand, it would make me feel a bit less nervous, which, I mean it did, but I was still nervous overall.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
This is too nice for me to sign. Scar's work has been incredible.
You can hold the tiny microphone?
Yes.
Okay, so first thing, what's your favorite season of Jet Lag the Game?
The only season I've watched is whatever Ollie was watching recently. So I'm guessing the latest one. I know He hid in a little castle somewhere in Europe, and it was very cold and rainy.
Yeah, that was hide and seek Switzerland.
Yes, I like the hide and seek ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I haven't
then,
seen it yet.
I've watched the New
They're
York
really
hide and
fun.
seek. I like
what's one thing you recommend seeing or doing at TwitchCon?
Artist Alley.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always Artist Alley.
And
Artist
then,
Alley.
what's one tip that helped you achieve success in content creation?
Oh,
Diversifying like your portfolio of platforms, like not just doing Twitch.
I think like just committing and keeping on showing up, like keep doing it, keep going.
Yeah, even in the
Find
lulls.
find
Yeah.
good friends. They'll
Yeah.
make you want to keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Okay.
After that segment wrapped up, we got some food, chilled for a bit, then headed upstairs to Nom Nom Theater for the hermitcraft panel. As you can see, there were a lot of people in line. I was actually concerned that the line would get cut off before I entered the seating area, but I was fine. After exiting the theater, I saw a crowd forming to the right of the theater entrance. With some investigation, I discovered that people were lining up for an impromptu meet and greet with Jem, Green, and Jimmy. Saying people were lining up is a bit of a weird wording, since it wasn't really a line. It was more like a conglomerate of people squished together. I'm sure you've already heard the story of what happened, but this ended up turning into a fire hazard. Twitch staff decided to move everyone across the entire convention and down a floor to the actual meet and greet area into an unused queue. From the video I took, you can see a huge line of people on the escalator trying to go down a floor. This was just an insane moment. I felt a bit of shame for being in line since Jem, Green, and Jimmy weren't intending on doing a meet and greet, but it turned into a 4-hour-long side quest for them. I only had my mom take photos for this one since I did feel pressured to move on quickly. Once I stepped out of that line, it was time to get into another one for the JoJo and Amesy meet and greet at the Minecraft booth. We headed over there and actually was in a decent position in line again. Since this wasn't as hectic, I decided to hit Fantastic Duo with some rapid fire questions. I actually had to teach my mom how to take photos while video recording since she didn't know how to do that.
Hi, can I get you each to sign this? Yeah.
I knew it. I love this. I love it so much. There you go. Maybe you can go ahead and do it.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're welcome, man. I got you.
And can we also do like a rapid fire questions thing?
Okay, man.
Do you want to hold the tiny microphone?
I want to hold. You'll hold it.
Okay, so question 1, what is your favorite color?
Red, blue.
What is one thing everyone should do or see at TwitchCon?
Minecraft. Meet JoJo Solos.
All right.
ICC.
And what's one tip you'd give to people who want to be a content creator?
Be more gay. Be yourself. Be fantastic.
Don't try to be fantastic. Don't try to be anyone else, and just love what you do.
All right.
These pictures were actually taken at the beginning of the day, but in my disorganized process of putting together this video, they've ended up on the timeline way later. Also, a bit later in the day, some of the hermits gathered in the Minecraft booth area to chat to others. This was held as another unofficial meet and greet. I was mainly interested in Cub, Fall, Scar, and Ren, since the meet and greet lottery system didn't give me all 3 of my picks. I couldn't find Cub or False, but Scar was there. As much as I wanted to get the founder of the Scarland art book to, well, sign my Scarland art book, he had a long line of his own. I did end up snapping a photo with Ren though, and I had a quick chat with him. It's about 4:37 p.m. and let's recap everything I did today. Here's my badge too, in case you want to see it. So first up, I had the meet and greet with Beck, Owen, and Eloise, and I was super nervous about this, especially since it was the first thing of the day at my first TwitchCon ever. But as I was walking there, I was able to get a lay of the land, like learn where the Phasmo booth is, Minecraft booth, Twitch Rivals Arena, all that. And then after that was done, we found somewhere to chill and eat food, just somewhere relaxing. And I was also able to watch a bit of Sandwich Lord's stream. and I am a temp mod for him for his subathon, so I wanted to be there at least for a little bit of the subathon since I had an opportunity. And then after that, I headed to Nom Nom Theater for the hermitcraft panel, and the line was so long. I probably already put a video in that I got of the line, or maybe I'll put it in again now. But the thing was zigzagging all around the area, and people got there so early. Like, I got there about an hour early, and I had doubts that I was going to make it in, but I made it in and found a seat just fine. And then after the panel was done, chaos basically erupted because people were thinking that after the panel there would be an unofficial meet and greet with the hermits like how there was last Twitch Rival San Diego, and those people were correct. Jimmy, Grian, and Jem were all hanging out outside or near Nom Nom Theater, and then a huge line formed, and then Twitch staff got involved, and we had to walk across the whole convention center where they were able to get us an official meet and greet area. So then I was able to get Jem, Grian, and Jimmy to sign the Scarlet art book and take a photo with me. And then after that, it was about time for the Minecraft area to meet Amesy and Jojo, but a little bit before that, we just hung out in the Minecraft area, sat down, just resting, because we had walked a long way. And my legs are still sore from walking over 4.5 miles at SeaWorld yesterday. But one thing I found that I'm really bad at is just going up to a streamer that I know and asking them for a photo and autograph. I was literally right next to Michaela, foolish and bad, and I didn't have the courage to walk up to them and ask for a photo. But then I saw Ren hanging out around the Minecraft area, and I got the confidence for his signature, but that one to me was more important since I didn't get the opportunity for his meet and greet on Saturday, which is tomorrow. So I got to set everything up, charge everything, make sure my tiny microphones and the adapter are charged, and then also my phone, because my phone was a trooper and it somehow survived with 5% battery left through the whole convention today. There were some points where I tried to use my portable charger, but either the portable charger died or the cable just wasn't good enough because it was only charging like 1% every 10 minutes or something. Now it was time for day 4 of my trip and day 2 of the convention. Right at the beginning of the day was the Lifesteal SMP panel. During the later days of the convention, I got the confidence to attend panels and walk around on my own since my mom wasn't as interested in that stuff. I did manage to drag her along to the Lifesteal panel though.
3, 2, 1, we are
A bit of time later, and it was time for my meet and greet with Jem, Skiz, Impulse, and Tango. Pearl was supposed to be there, but she ended up leaving early to rest up. Because of an incident that happened involving a completely different creator, Twitch posted that they were no longer allowing +1s for the meet and greets. If you don't know, you were allowed to bring a guest with you as long as you had the reserved time slot. Both people would get their wristbands scanned in, and you'd both be allowed to meet the creator. This new rule confused a lot of people, especially me. Twitch didn't specify that the no +1s thing anymore was only for day 1 of the convention, so I sent my mom away and she sat near Artist Alley while I attended this meet and greet. While I was in line for the 4 hermits, someone around my age was asking people if they could be someone's +1. I accepted the request. They had an open slot for the Cub, False, Ren, Scar meet and greet, so we ended up being each other's +1s. I would get to meet Scar after all. Sorry to not have TwitchCon footage for a bit, but I have to rant about the lines. Arriving an hour early for the scheduled time slot was not early enough. The state of the queues was atrocious. I understand that there are hundreds of other Hermit fans in line, but there was barely anywhere to sit. Near the front there were a couple benches, but they had no back to them and were uncomfortable AF. Also, I was genuinely worried they would cut off the line despite so many people having the time slot reserved. We got news that Twitch staff said no more autographs, just a quick photo, and while that unfortunately worked for the first few people after, that rule thankfully didn't end up being followed or enforced. This whole thing was an unorganized mess. A while after this MNG, I met back up with the person and we waited in line for the Cub, False, Ren, Scar MNG. Us two, a third guy, and a kid who was attending TwitchCon with their family ended up playing Uno while waiting. This was the enjoyable part, as I also cautiously let the kids skim through my Scarline art book. The clip you're watching now is of Twitch staff letting through another huge group of people. We were already near the back of the line, so I felt even worse for those people. And this was the end of TwitchCon Day 2. There wasn't anything else I wanted to attend, so I walked back to the hotel room. Just got back from TwitchCon Day 2 and it was another exhausting one. So the day started out as normal. I watched the lifesteal panel, I enjoyed it, and then I went back downstairs for the meet and greet with Pearl, Gem, Impulse, Tango, and Skiz, and that line was very, very long. Twitch staff heavily underestimated how many people would show up for the Hermit meet and greets, so they had like a staging area kind of next to the main queue area that they would group everyone into. When the time actually hit for the meet and greet, so like 12 p.m., that's when they let everyone go and line up in the actual number queue for the meet and greet. I was under the impression that +1s aren't allowed anymore because that's what Twitch put out on their Twitter account and on the app. But apparently that is just wrong, and someone actually came up to me while I was in line. I was near the front of the line for the first Hermit meet and greet, and they asked if they could be my +1. So I said yes. And then they actually had a reservation for the Scar, False, Ren, and Cub meet and greet later in the day, and they asked if I wanted to be their +1, so I said yes, and that was just like a great bonding moment. But let me tell you, the line took hours. Like, the line was barely moving. It got to the point where there were huge chunks of people sitting on the ground since there was only like 1 or 2 benches. And then just a group of us all started playing Minecraft Uno. I was with a really lovely family and their 2 daughters, and they just had like so much fun looking through my Scarline art book and then also playing the Minecraft Uno with us. But yeah, we were probably waiting in line for that one for about 3 hours, and then it got to the point where the meet and greet time slot ended, but luckily they didn't cut off the line, thankfully, and they let everyone through the queue that was already there just continue as normal. And then it got to the point where it was very well past 2 p.m., which was supposed to be the end of the meet and greet. I didn't get up to meet Gem, Impulse, Tango, and Skiz, but I didn't get the chance to meet them until it was like 3 p.m. or past 3 p.m., which is just insane. So then when that was all done, I got the photographs and the signatures in my art book. But thank you to my mom who brought me a couple waters. That really helped. The line waiting for the Scar meet and greet was a little better than the first one, but still not the best. But I was in the staging area they had, and then I waited there for about 30 or 40 minutes, and that's when they actually let us into the actual queue lines. And then it was another long waiting game. Twitch staff eventually said that they would make a hard cut at 6 p.m., which is when the meet and greet was supposed to end. And the convention center closes at 7, to my knowledge, so they really wanted people to get out of there. And I was just like looking at my watch every so often and seeing the time tick closer and closer to 6 p.m. Very little increments, a chunk of the line, you'd get to move up and closer to the front of the line. And then it was about 5:40 p.m. and I got to the front. I got to meet Scar, False, Ren, and Cub. And Scar was actually giving out these signed Scarfari tickets, and then I also got my art book signed by him. He thanked me for the contribution to the project, and I said thank you back. And then this is the other side of the ticket with the volcano and little buildings too. And then yeah, I'm back in the hotel room, very exhausted and tired. My feet are really tired, even though I didn't walk that many steps today. I mean, I still walked almost 2 miles total. It was just a bunch of standing around in the lines. But yeah, since I didn't do a get ready with me or a fit check earlier today before I left, I didn't do a good morning segment. Same shoes as yesterday, black sweatpants. Not going to show you the side of them because it actually has my college's name on that. The Metro Mayhem shirt, and then of course the Life series hat. But yeah, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow where I'm planning on watching MCC, the Copper Crown, and then the Cowboy SMP panel, if all goes according to plan, because there is only 30 minutes separating the end and start of each of those. So yeah, see you tomorrow. We've got the final day of TwitchCon. Today, first up, MCC, then the Cowboy SMP panel. But since I remembered, fit check. As you can see, got the Snails shirt, can't see the back of it. And then camera, just some basic pink sweatpants, because I'm rooting for the pink team in MCC today. But also this snail shirt is also me supporting the lifers too. And then for the socks, we've just got Snoopy. They're kind of like Charlie Brown themed socks. I have like a bunch of these. They all came in one pack. But yeah, that's basically it for this morning talk. We're planning on leaving at 9:10, which should put us like maybe a little bit behind the middle of the pack, since they don't open the convention center until 10 o'clock, and everyone just gathers in this huge room until they let everyone in. So everyone's also probably going to be rushing to the Twitch Rivals Arena for MCC, so we'll see how that goes. See you in there. TC Day 3 was a big one. Immediately after entering the venue, my mom and I walked to the Twitch Rivals Arena to watch MCC The Copper Crown. This was the thing I talked to my mom about the most. While she didn't understand anything, despite there being game explanations at the beginning of each game, she still was happy with how excited I was. She understood Dodgebolt the most and knew when to cheer.
My heart's pounding so fast.
Yes! Yes! Come on!
Great shot. Amazing shot. I've just killed Jim like 3 times, so it's just like, all right, my turn. I am pacing right now. I'm so stressed. Of course, you lining up the
Stacking.
shot. SK also lining up the shot. SK misses, but it's 3v3. It's anyone's game. Jim's lining up the shot. Can't she hit? Oh my gosh.
No!
It's okay. It's okay. Just one miss. Great shot on SK. Everyone in this room is just as stressed as I am, right? Oh my god, you can see Green trying to get some stretches in.
Right after this amazing event, I walked across the entire convention floor and upstairs to Nom Nom Theater for the Cowboy SMP panel. One thing that I like doing after each MCC is going through one person's POV from each team and watching their reaction to Dodgebolt. I was also exhausted from the total amount of walking I had done thus far, so after I thought about it for a bit, I walked back to the hotel room. Little did I know, I had just given up the opportunity to meet the creator who I wanted to meet the most. If you couldn't tell from the clips already, I am a huge hermitcraft fan. Specifically, I really wanted to meet Pearl. With her leaving early on day 2, I knew there was going to be a slim chance I could meet her elsewhere. What I haven't mentioned yet is I was in contact with one of my friends from Pearl's Discord server. We would tell each other of what events we attended and inform each other of any hermit sightings. When I was already outside the convention center, they messaged me saying they had found Pearl and that she was doing an unofficial meet and greet. My heart shattered at this moment. With the talks of the hermits taking things more low-key next year if they attend Twitchcon again, I knew I had just missed my only shot at ever meeting Pearl. There is about a 1% chance of her attending Twitchcon San Diego next year. While I am attending the Rotterdam Twitchcon, which takes place before the San Diego one, I also doubt she'd make that flight since these things are also very expensive, unfortunately. Anyways, that's enough of me having a semi-crash out. Let's take it back to past me to explain that day and what comes after the convention. And that's a wrap on my first ever TwitchCon. While I didn't get to see a lot of the side stuff like the variety booths or the arcade, I still had an amazing time. And I am just so thankful once again to my mom for letting me have this experience. Even though a lot of the stuff we chose not to attend together just because it's really not her thing, she still had an amazing time and actually loved watching Dodgeball. She loved it so much, she actually told me that she understands how it worked and she got as hype as the rest of the crowd was, especially when it went to a juicy 5th round. I was telling her once I saw Purple was in 2nd place, I was telling her how I think they could beat Pink just because 3 of the 4 of them, or maybe 4 of the 4 of them, I'm not as familiar with FanFan and the content she makes, but they're FPS players. They know how to aim well with a bow. And although that can't be true for every type of bow game, it has been true in the past. For example, Block Wars Rookies 3, the FPS team, won Shockwave Finale, which is basically Valorant but in Minecraft. And although this is the end of TwitchCon, it is not the end of the vlog, because I'm still planning on going to the San Diego Zoo tomorrow, and I've got like a behind-the-scenes experience that's about an hour and a half long. I don't know how much footage of that I'm gonna get, but I'll probably get more pictures than videos that time around. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for the San Diego Zoo, and then I'm flying back on Tuesday. Before the tour started, we managed to see the pandas. Apparently people have trouble with this since there's usually a long line, but the most we waited was 5 minutes, I'd say. We didn't even arrive right as the park opened.
Got a lot of friends in there.
During the tour, we got to feed some animals, learn about the zoo's history, and just learn about wildlife conservation in general. I thought there would be more pictures and videos, and I was correct. I'll do a little slideshow now of what I have. Once we were tired out from the zoo, we took an Uber to El Indio, a very good Mexican restaurant. Whenever I'm in San Diego, I always make a note to stop there.
I have ordered a steak soft shell taco with pico de gallo, lettuce, tomato, and cheese from El Indio.
Okay, and this is mine. I got 2 tacos. One has beef, the other has chicken. They're both plain, but I got this hot taco salsa on the side. And then we also got a small bag of chips to bring back with us home or to the hotel. The side-by-side images that are on screen now I just thought was poetic. At the beginning of TwitchCon, I took a photo of my hat and badge in the morning, and now there it is at sunset on the final day of the trip. I made a nice Twitter post expressing my gratitude and happiness that I received from the trip. As you can see from the post, I mentioned not knowing if I would be able to attend another TwitchCon. Well, since this voiceover is recorded many months later, on January 2nd to be exact, I do have a trip planned for Rotterdam. TCEU is still 4 months away, but I'm excited. Hopefully I'll be less nervous for that one. I don't know if I'm planning on vlogging it. We're doing a little trip before actually going to Rotterdam since we're staying in Belgium and Amsterdam for a bit and ending the trip with TwitchCon. If I were to make a vlog, I think it would just be for the TwitchCon activities and not for anything we do beforehand. We just opened the blinds and we didn't have the window shade closed. Look at what it looks like outside. I think it's raining. I think I hear raindrops, or that could just be fog or bad air quality, but that is a bit insane. So, yeah, that's the end of this vlog, I guess. If you weren't able to make it to TwitchCon this year or you just decided not to attend, I hope you enjoyed my POV of it as much as I enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Have a great time zone, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!